The girl cried as she married the old man, but his secret won't be hidden for long. A married couple with 2 children lived in a low-income area on the outskirts of an impoverished South African town. Even though the parents were always working, the family was forced to live in terrible poverty since there was just not enough money for anything. The youngsters grew up to be diligent and academically proficient. Nandy, the daughter, received a scholarship to university and afterward found work in the field. She had already become 25, yet the young girl never married, since few people would want to marry a poor family's daughter, and how terrible it must have been for her brother. He was unable to marry since he lacked the financial resources to support his family. Following that, there was an occurrence that caught the parents off guard. They were contacted by a 60-year-old guy who made an amazing proposal to them. He wished to marry their daughter. When he revealed his last name to them, the entire family was taken aback. It will be great if you like and share this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon next to it to get notified when we add new, interesting videos in the future. Now let's get back to the story. At the time, he was the wealthiest man in the entire city. The beleaguered parents were at a loss for what to do. They were subjected to torture. They were compelled to give him their child in return for money, but just a few times to such an old groom. Following their meeting with the unexpected visitor, the mother and father phoned their daughter and told her the entire truth. When she understood how old he was, Nancy was astonished. It only made her more surprised to find that he was the city's richest individual. The young lady sobbed uncontrollably. She was reflecting on her awful circumstances. In her heart, though, she agreed with her parents. She had no choice, as she knew it was a way out for her parents and brother to live a better life. She was ready to make the sacrifice needed, even if it meant getting married to this old rich man. Their family has been fighting a lost battle with poverty daily, and this marriage has the potential to alter their lives forever. Her parent was not pleased with the option 2, but they knew what was at stake and left the decision to their daughter to make. Nandy's behavior would have benefited not only her parents, but also her brother, because several of the girls would have approached the extremely affluent family if they had heard about it. Even though she had been sobbing all night, the girl accepted. The day had finally come for her to meet him the next morning. Nandy was gripped with dread, and she anticipated the prospective husband's arrival. What a wait it was for her, not knowing who he was or the kind of person he's going to be. She wondered, how am I going to survive with this old man? Is this the best decision for me to make? What if he turned out to be the worst person in the long run? How will I survive such a marriage? The bride was first depressed because of the groom's wrinkles and hunched back, but she ultimately became accustomed to it. The bride and groom were preparing for their nuptials. The elderly man paid her visits on a regular basis, and the two of them spoke for hours. The bride was caught aback by the groom's refusal to approach her, and instead kept his distance. This unexpected incident perplexed her. She was also caught aback by the elderly gentleman's enjoyment of reading and his high level of physical activity throughout his life. This is a bit unusual, but it is not impossible. The prospective husband made it plain in his sensitive and careful handling of the young girl that he will always be respectful of her. Nandy was taken aback, believing that the elderly man had not only drawn her admiration, but also that she had affections for him. A bit weird, right? Yeah, I know. She knew how weird things are turning out to be. As the wedding day approached, the bride began to reconsider. She has began to see things different. Her demeanor grew better. She became a lot more at ease and comfortable, despite the fact that she will marry a man who is beyond his prime, someone who is old as her parent, if not more, although he is clever, thoughtful, and pleasant. Furthermore, he is quite affluent and eager to help the entire family. Who knows what more a poor young beauty could seek in order for Nandy to cry during the wedding. Despite the fact that it was her first, her heart was filled with contradictory emotions. It was really difficult for her to accept their vast age gap. It was too much, and it made her uncomfortable. The wedding celebration was lively and flavorful. Her spouse drove the girl to a luxurious hotel room in the evening. She was nervous about the wedding night, but her husband left the room to use the restroom and didn't return in time. He spent almost an hour away. Nandy became anxious for a long time after that, but then something happened that she couldn't shake, and she was utterly caught off guard. A thin, youthful, and gorgeous man opened the door to the bedroom. The young woman was so afraid that she hid beneath the blankets. Her heart was pounding wildly in her chest. The man approached her and kissed her on the lip. Nandy was about to scream even louder when he unexpectedly spoke, leaving the girl stunned and breathless. She recognized the voice as her husband. What an ingenious hoax that turned out to be. It was then revealed that expert makeup artists had been working on him for some time, converting him from a gorgeous young man into an elderly man. He was the heir of vast fortunes. Girls flocked to affluent and gorgeous men, but he wished to marry a lady who cared more about his soul than his income. He strolled into Nandy's workplace one day and fell head over heels in love with the gorgeous young girl. He followed her down and went to her house. He discovered she was intending to marry an elderly man only for financial benefit. However, seeing the girl's genuine and nice personality, he decided to do an extraordinary experiment on her. Despite the look of an elderly man, he was able to get entry to Nandy's because of his noble and sensitive character. Then he made the decision to seek a connection with this woman. He disclosed a nefarious plot to his bride. He got down on his knees shortly after and begged his bride to accept his apology. She was taken aback, but she was also overjoyed. It appeared as though a really loving family had been magically created. People should not be evaluated purely on their appearance. Make an attempt to perceive the soul as well as everyone else. It is almost certain that if you share the good, it will come back to you. Judging others reveals you. People adore passing judgment on others. When I find myself condemning people, I take a step back and remind myself of this. We typically condemn others based on our own flaws. Think about it. If you're being honest with yourself, you'll probably be able to relate to some of the following scenarios. Do you know of someone who is completely confident in themselves, yet constantly and ruthlessly criticizes others in the ways I described? I don't either, since our appraisals reveal our shortcomings and worries. It's usually because we judge ourselves too severely. Here's how to make it more appealing. Keep an open mind. I'm not gullible when it comes to making decisions. Don't think it's possible to never judge someone. That's a beautiful goal. But my goal is to provide ideas that are feasible enough to be explored. Here's an easy one to remember. Keep your curiosity and avoid judgment the next time you are tempted to pass judgment on others. Judgment silences us and prevents us from fully comprehending. To be honest, most people's judgments are based on inadequate data. Curiosity, on the other hand, leaves us open to the possibility that we don't completely understand the issue. People behave in ridiculous, idiotic, or worse ways. No matter what I witness, I wonder what's going on with that person. I'm not sure. To be sure, it's easier said than done. It's easy to pass judgment on someone, and it might even feel good. Curiosity, on the other hand, necessitates maturity, emotional intelligence, and self-discipline. After condemning the two ladies at the gym who were acting like cruel girls, in my head, I was able to take a step back and study their behavior with interest, wondering what made two mature women treat a woman who was simply minding her own business at the gym like that. I was able to take a step back and study their behavior with interest, wondering what made two mature women treat a man who was simply minding his own business at the gym like that. I was able to adjust my thinking from judgment to inquiry as a result of the process of moving from judgment to inquiry. Right, I've been on the receiving end of harsh judgment, so I understand how it feels. I'm used to being judged for my smile, for trying to make the world a better place, or even for my skin color. I'm accustomed to it now and don't mind. No one can judge me harder or more harshly than I have judged myself. You must trust me on this. All of this is correct. It still irritates me to watch people suffer as a result of vicious mockery and joke. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share the video. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye.